I am just going to be cleaning off. I just got done soldering, so I'm going to be cleaning, polishing, and waxing. And I've actually never gone through this process with everybody before. I've done the cleaning. I don't think I've ever done the polishing or waxing. But I've been getting a lot of questions on like the full process. So I'm just going to take you from really just the end like that. I just got done soldering, we're gonna clean it, polish it, wax it, and then we'll be done. So today, I'm just using 70%. I actually like 91 better, but they didn't have it at the store, so I just grabbed this, which is fine. Um, and then I just got a toothbrush with medium bristles. I like the hard bristles. It's just I can never find them, and I'll just go grab a pack out of the dollar aisle from Dollar General. Um, yeah. So when I'm cleaning this, and I just wanted to do a simple project because that way it doesn't take too long. And you guys don't get too bored. Um, really, I'm looking for. So say this didn't take me that long to solder, but say this took me longer to solder. Sometimes there gets like a little gummy. Let me see if I can find it. Any? No. But sometimes the flux kind of gets like a gumminess to it, and that's why I like the rubbing alcohol because rubbing alcohol really gets that flux off to me. That with the toothbrush, anyways. And then this is just like a clean rag that I'm wiping down with. So then I'm moving it over there to a little different area. That way I don't get that spot dirty that I just flipped over. Anyways, you're gonna just be looking to make sure you get all the little gunk stuff off. That's like usually it gets right around here, right up in there. And you'll see it. You'll see it. So you'll know what I'm talking about. So, and then I'm just gonna go around like this, just real quick. All right. So that's good. Now sometimes if this was like a bigger project, I would be probably take the rubbing alcohol and go over it again, like do it a second time, just because I don't know, just because sometimes I don't get it clean all the way the first time, and so I just want to go over it a second time. Okay, give me one moment. I gotta go grab some dish soap. And let me see. I'm gonna have to bring something over here, like a bucket or something. And they probably put peanut butter in here. All right. So usually I would be doing this in the sink, but being that I'm showing you guys, I'm doing it out here with a bowl. But usually I take this to my kitchen sink and then I'll just spray it down, get it wet, put a little soap on the front, put a little soap on the back, and I'm just using the Ajax. Dawn works, it doesn't really matter. And then I have a different toothbrush. This toothbrush I always use for the soap or when I'm washing it. Don't use the one that you just cleaned, used to clean the flux off. Yeah, get a new toothbrush and then just keep that one aside um, for when you're gonna clean it like this. So I used to use this other stuff called Quick Clean. I think it Quick Clean or something. I'll show you what it looks like. I used to use that all the time. I found that this actually works better, and on top of that, it's a lot cheaper. So, I mean, how easy is it to come by rubbing alcohol and dish soap? Like, not hard at all. So, and then make sure you get your chain or any place that on your chain where you soldered. Like I soldered the jump ring shut. So make sure to get that. And then I'm just going to dump it in here. You don't really want to like let it soak, but just kind of, because remember it's copper foil. So you don't want that water really having time to penetrate and get underneath. Not saying that it would, but do we really want to chance it? Not really. So, okay. Let's see. I'm going to give it another little scrub dub. And then that'll be good. And then for this last rinse, I'm going to go spray it off with the hose real quick. And I will be right back. I'll meet you right over here. All right. So now we're going to polish it. So we've cleaned it off. Should be nice and clean. Um, like that. If you've cleaned it off, you dried it, you're still seeing gummy marks on it, then go back and do it again. And yeah, just focus on those little points. Okay, so this is the, oh, real quick before I go on. So this is the quick clean I'm talking about. This is what I used to use, which I still do use it sometimes. For instance, say when I'm cleaning this, I notice a little spot that maybe has a sharp, the solder got a little point there or something. I'll go back with this and just clean it. Um, then this does say not to use. It says water. Do not apply water after cleaning with quick clean. Now, it doesn't say anything about applying um, water before. So that's why I wash like that first. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I really just use this as like a quick when I just need to spot clean something and I don't want to have to like redo the whole entire thing. Okay, so this is the polish I use, the Clarity, and Rainbow Art Glass sells it, so I know you can get it there. Um, I don't recommend Amazon only because they're killing America, so I don't recommend them. So you mainly want to go around the solder lines, and I'm just see I put a bunch on there, and I just kind of well not a bunch, but a decent amount for the size of the piece, and I'm going like that, and then wait, actually I like doing the back first. So what this says to do, it just says to go around it with a towel like this. And you're just kind of here. You want me to read it word for word? It says apply finishing compound with a soft cloth. Spread a thin coat evenly over glass and metal. Rub lightly along seams to ensure a bright, even finish. Let dry to a haze and buff to a high shine. A heat lamp is helpful for drying in extremely humid or cold weather. So that's all we're doing. So I just applied it right now. Now I'm not applying it to the front right now because I'm going to let this side dry, then I'll flip it over, and then I'll do the front. Um, and I use different, so one rag for putting the polish on, one rag for wiping it off, a clean one. Okay, and then when we wax, one rag for putting the wax on, one clean rag for taking it off. And yeah, so now I'm just waiting. Just gotta wait till that dries. Um, which shouldn't take too long. And I don't have a whole lot of solder on this guy because he's not that big. But that was the whole point. I didn't want to bore you with a really, really long one because I'm just trying to show you the basics. So I'll just give it a couple minutes. So just hang tight. I'm gonna hold this in front of the fan real quick. All right, that's pretty good. I think that's good. We'll find out. I'm gonna go over it a second time, anyways. I always do. So this is a clean rag, and look at all that already coming off. Now that's called dross. It's like basically a byproduct of soldering. So you're gonna there's gonna be a lot of that comes off, and you're gonna want to get it as much of it, pretty much all of it. I mean, you want to get as much as you can. So that's why I go over it a few times. Um, I think sometimes I've even gone over it a third time if I need to, but usually this does it. So or two times do is enough. Um, I don't wear gloves when I'm cleaning it off. Hmm. If I was applying patina, I would be, but these aren't harsh chemicals, the wax or the polish. So, yeah. So I don't feel the need to wear any gloves. I don't feel like it's necessary. But if you feel safer doing it, by all means, to each his own. And I'm just slowly turning it and like buffing it. All right. So that's pretty good. Let's check this again. And now I'm going to flip it over and do the front. So I'm gonna go on the same spot, apply the polish on the same spot. I do that just because I feel like I don't waste as much polish that way because it's not like saturating a new spot of towel. It's using that same spot, so there's already like it's already been saturated in that spot. So that way, it's just not the towel's not soaking up a bunch, and I'm not getting as much as I need. You know what I'm saying? Okay, same thing like we did on the back, and now we just wait. So we'll give it a couple minutes. I'm like the one day that I'm available to ask or to look at my phone and actually answer questions, and no questions today. Well, no watchers really, but that's okay because because it's like 10:30 on a Monday, so I assume most people are at work right now, and I just wanted to do this before I forgot. So no biggie to me. It's there if you need it at one point in time or another. For now, anyways. I'm gonna hold it in front of the fan again. So yeah, for any of you just tuning in, I'm just polishing right now. So I'm waiting for the polish to dry and then I can buff it. And then I gotta apply the wax. And then we're done. That is pretty much it. But okay, I think that's good. And why is this important? Is it important to polish and wax? Yes, it is crucially important. Um, when um, I was taught really just only the basics. Um, and the person who taught me had told me that you don't have to polish and wax. Over time, I have found over like the first probably year or so, I realized no, you do need to polish and you do need to wax. Otherwise, your piece is going to oxidize so quick. It's just going to be, you're going to be bummed out. You're going to be bummed out because you're going to be like, how come it's not shiny still? And why didn't it last longer? And you're thinking all that work and now it looks all dull and it's not even like shiny, you know? Yeah. So trust me. I mean, you don't have to technically, I guess, in order for it to be considered stained glass. But if you really wanted to stay shiny and last, then yes, you do have to polish it and you do have to wax it. And because what happens is, especially if you hang it out, if you the piece you have you're gonna hang outside, it's gonna oxidize a lot quicker. But it's gonna the solder's gonna oxidize no matter what. So inside, outside, it doesn't matter. The air is gonna oxidize it. So what was I gonna say about that? I don't know. No, I forget. That's all right. It'll come back to me. Okay, so that's that. Now we can wax, and then we're done. And waxing's pretty quick. The key with waxing is do not put too much wax. If you put too much wax, it's gonna get like if you put too much wax and it hardens, it gets like a gummy. Anyways, well, the one I used, anyways. So the Renaissance, this is what I use, and I love it. And this lasts a long time. This 200 milliliter one. Um, so you really need like okay, see that bit on that's almost like I don't even really need that much, but so see I just have I don't want a whole lot at all, and my main focus is the solder because that's the part that I'm worried about oxidizing. The glass isn't going to oxidize, so that's not even a really issue. But I do put it on the glass also because I do not want well just because I do want to protect it on the glass, and the wax does make it like sparkly and shiny. Now, technically, the polish I use. So okay, wait. So I'm gonna let it dry, or I polished it on there, and it looks good. I didn't put too much, and but I can still see where I put it. So now I'm gonna let it dry like a minute. Like you really don't need to do longer than a minute. Okay, so this clarity compound though, it does actually say on it, where is it? Oh, to polish and wax stained glass panels. So that step 4 that I read to you earlier, it just said follow that step, and then it adds extra sparkle and life to your bubbles and colors, and it really does. So you probably don't. I don't know if you really need a wax after that because it's saying polish and wax, but I put a wax anyways. Because this one's a wax. That one's more of a. I mean, I bought that other one as a polish, so and polish and wax aren't the same. Polish polish is gonna have like a little bit of a grit to it. like almost like sand or something. And you want that because you're trying to polish it. Um, Obviously, you don't want anything too abrasive. This is a clean rag, by the way, I got here. So now I'm just going to wipe, kind of buff it. Um, but yeah, you don't want anything too abrasive. A wax shouldn't have any kind of little granules in it or anything like that because you're just putting a wax on. It's just a coating. You're not wanting to buff it, especially because I'm not patinaing this. But if I was patinaing it, I polished it. Now I would be patinaing it right now instead of waxing, and then I'd wax afterwards. So if you, for instance, being that you patina it and then wax, if you had a wax that had, I mean, if the wax has a grit in it, then you're basically polishing off the patina that you literally just put on. Um, so don't do that. And you'll be able to see. I like working outside in the light because maybe, and I don't know if you can really tell. It's harder to see, but do you almost see how it's a little more like foggy looking right there, and over here it's like super like shiny. Yeah, so that's how you know, like that's the part I haven't wiped off the wax yet or like buffed it. Um, Yeah, and so you just go around, and I kind of move spots on the towel a little bit just so I'm making sure not to like put the wax, just I just want to make sure I'm using this clean spot of the towel. Okay, and did I do the front? No, I didn't do the front, did I? Or did I do the front? I don't remember. I have a really bad short term memory, so all right, I don't think we did. So now it's the front's turn. Whoa, 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 whoa! This wax, the only thing is this jar, when it gets down to the end, it's really hard to just get like a little bit out. It wants to come out. um yeah, anyways, okay, so see, I just got that little bit. Just going around again, make sure the solder is really what want. And oh, that's what I was saying, I like working outside because the natural light is just really, I can see a lot better, rather than the fluorescent lights. I can just see better what I'm doing, and like the components I'm using on it, like the wax, the polish. I can just see what I'm doing better. For me, that's just a personal choice. All right, so give it a moment or a minute or two to dry. And like I said, if you see any spots, matter of fact, I don't want, like a couple of these spots, I got a little too much wax, which is not what I want. Because like I said, that wax, if you get too much of it, it's gonna dry like gummy. When you go to polish it or when you go to buff it, it's gonna be, you're just gonna wonder why it's all gummy. There's another reason there could be gummy stuff on your thing. You didn't get all the flux all the way off. So if you're cleaning it and there's like a little spot where you didn't get all the flux off, what I usually do is, instead of going back and washing it all over again, I do I just go and I grab a Q-tip or a cotton ball with some rubbing alcohol, and I'll just go over that spot. Um, Usually a Q-tip, not a cotton ball, is a little too much. I'm not trying to drench it in rubbing alcohol. I just am trying to get that one little spot of the flux off that's still on there. So, you know, um, yep. I've been like on a huge pressed flower kick lately. I don't know why, but I just have been. But that's all right. At least maybe this way, like maybe I'll get it all out of my system before. Not that I need to get it out of my system before winter or fall, but um, I guess I think pressed flowers of more as like a spring and summery. But no, that's not true because it's really just how you do the color scheme or what type of plants you're using. Okay, so that's good. So we're actually there's one other thing I want to do, and I do this with all my pieces because I'm a little OCD, and I just can't stand like little. I don't know. I'll see. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now let's see if you can see it. Do you see right? It looks like nothing, but can you see right there a little bit? Yeah, this looks like a line, and then see right. Let's see. Oh, I did it pretty good. Oh, maybe I don't need to, but I'll just show you anyways because I do this on my bigger pieces. Um, so my bigger pieces, because sometimes the lines are really close together. Sometimes the piece is only like that big, that big. Sorry. Um, so I take a Q-tip after I wax, and I just go around um all the little, I just run it around the solder lines, and that way any wax or anything that was like extra or that got up in the crevices. Sometimes the towel just doesn't quite want to get it all the way because it's like it's a little piece and it's just kind of like a divot. Um, and so I'll use the Q-tip to go around and like that. And then sometimes even you'll get like that a little piece of there's like a piece of solder that's wanting to hold on where it got like there we go. So really, it was just kind of that one spot. But let me flip it over to the other side. And the reason I'm doing this like that, I don't want any extra wax or like buildup of wax is gonna cause your piece to like get kind of like extra gunky or dirty in that one spot because the dirt's gonna want to stick to it, um, because it wasn't all the way clean. So after I do that, then I'll just take my towel again in a clean spot and just make sure that any of the wax that I pulled out or like, brought out, now I'm just rubbing it back in. Not rubbing it back in, but basically making sure that there's not like any little streaks left over from where I evened out any wax buildup, basically. All right. And oh man, what I forgot to do, but that's all right because because it'll still work. I meant to so usually before I wax it, just because it's easier, I'll mark it. I mark all my. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and it's just like a little engraver. So I put my initial, and yes, my initials are ha 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 ha. Ha. Anyways, put my initial and the year. And maybe someday when I'm dead, someone will be like, "I have a piece of Hannah's work." I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, that'd be cool if one day I was famous after I'm dead." Not that it would be recorded in history because I'm a woman. Okay, ta-da! And we're all done. So, oh, my bad. So there we have it. Oh, sorry. There we have it. Let's see. Yeah, and look how nice and shiny that. Look, it's like a mirror. I love it. Cool, huh? So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you learned something today. And yeah, I don't know how when I'm gonna be back. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. And honestly, I am not a live streamer, so I just do this to help people out. And hopefully it does help somebody out. So, anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. And like I said, I hope it helped, and I will see you very soon. All right. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.